Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's Nicky D, and welcome back to the Nicky D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show, where I, Nicky D, break down all 16 games in the NFL this week. Which, yes, that means there is nobody that has a off week this week, so we'll be able to see all 32 teams in action. What's your favorite game of the week? Let me know down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful day, and without further ado, let's get to and our first game of the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show. We have Caleb Williams and the 4-7 Chicago Bears going on the road to Ford Field to take on the 10-1 Detroit Lions. And Chicago has really been struggling as of late. They've lost 5 games in a row after starting out 4-2, whereas the Detroit Lions have just been on a roll, not just winning, but blowing teams out in the process. Most recently, they beat the Colts 24-6 last week. So I'm picking the Detroit Lions to beat the Chicago Bears. And in our next matchup, we have the 2-9 New York Giants going on the road into Arlington for a Thanksgiving matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. And both of these teams this year have really been struggling. I can't quite remember the last time the Giants got a win, and the Cowboys have 4 wins on the year, all of them coming on the road. The Cowboys have not been able to perform well when at home. I think that changes this week. I think the New York Giants are not going to be them guys this week. And I think the Dallas Cowboys are really going to be able to get a good quality win. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys to beat the New York Giants. And our last Thanksgiving matchup, we have the 5-6 Miami Dolphins going on the road to Lambeau to take on Jordan Love and the 8-3 Green Bay Packers. And Green Bay has been rolling as of late. Josh Jacobs has been a big part of that in the rushing game for Green Bay. I do think Miami does have some offense in this game. Tua Tagovailoa has been on a roll, had 4 touchdown passes last week. The Dolphins have won 3 games in a row, but I think Josh Jacobs is just going to be too much for this Miami defense, so I'm picking the Green Bay Packers to beat the Miami Dolphins. And our next game is the Black Friday game, as we have the 2-9 Las Vegas Raiders going on the road to Arrowhead to take on Patrick Mahomes and the 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs. And honestly, Kansas City has just been surviving as of late, and the Raiders just haven't been able to play well at all. They lost last week to the Denver Broncos 29-19, and they are tied for the worst team in the NFL as of right now. I do think Patrick Mahomes finally gets some confidence going this week, as I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And up next on the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show, we go to the Sunday games, and we start things off with the 7-4 LA Chargers going on the road to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to take on the 6-5 Atlanta Falcons. And the Chargers did fall short this past Monday, but they were playing Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and the Baltimore Ravens. So that's kind of okay. And the Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, one week they win and play well, another week they play bad and lose. So it's a hit or miss with Atlanta right now. And so I'm picking the LA Chargers to beat the Atlanta Falcons. And in our next matchup, we have the 8-3 Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road to Paul Brown Stadium to take on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. And shout out to Joe Burrow. He's been playing excellent over the last 3 or 4 weeks for Cincinnati. But Pittsburgh's coming off of a loss in the dog pound in the snow, so I expect Pittsburgh to be very angry. I expect Pittsburgh to be very focused. I expect the defense to lock up Joe Burrow, and I think that's a big reason why Pittsburgh's going to walk out with the win this week. I don't expect it to be a high-scoring game because of the Steelers' defense, so I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. In our next matchup, we have the 6-5 Arizona Cardinals going on the road to take on the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings. And Arizona is similar to Atlanta. 1 week they're playing great, another week they're not playing great, coming off of a 16-6 loss to Seattle last week, whereas the Minnesota Vikings have been on a roll over the last 5 or 6 weeks, and I think that continues into this week. I really think Minnesota is going to continue to play well, especially against that Arizona defense. So, give me the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Arizona Cardinals. And in our next matchup, we have the 5-7 Indianapolis Colts going on the road into Foxborough to take on Drake May and the 3-9 New England Patriots. And Indianapolis has been kind of hit or miss this year, I'll give them that. But New England has been downright horrible. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. Their defense has allowed 8 passing touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be able to take advantage of that and get at least 2 or 3. So, and in Indianapolis, on the other hand, they're going to find a way this week against this Patriot defense. Give me the Indianapolis Colts to beat the New England Patriots. And our next matchup on the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show, we've got Geno Smith and the 6-5 Seattle Seahawks going on the road to MetLife Stadium to take on A.A. Rodgers and the 3-8 New York Jets. I do think Aaron Rodgers finds a way to keep this game close, but as we've seen this season, Seattle is good in close games. They were able to get a 10-point win last week against the Arizona Cardinals, and I expect a lot of that to continue into this week. I don't think this is going to be a blowout either way, but give me the Seattle Seahawks to beat the New York Jets. And in our next matchup, we have Will Levis and the 3-8 Tennessee Titans going on the road into the nation's capital to take on Jalen Daniels and the 7-5 Washington Commanders. Tennessee is coming off of a big upset win against Houston, 32-27, whereas the Commanders have lost 3 games in a row after starting out 7-2. And I really think Washington needs to find a way to go back to their winning ways to at least be able to not have to fight in Week 18 to get into the postseason. I do think Jalen Daniels finds a way to lead the Commanders over a weak Tennessee defense. So give me the Washington Commanders to beat the Tennessee Titans. And in our next matchup, we have the 7-5 C.J. Stroud-led Houston Texans going on the road into Duval County to take on Trevor Lawrence and the 2-9 Jacksonville Jaguars. And Jacksonville is coming off of a bye this week, so they've had a couple of weeks to rest and recuperate. Houston coming off of a loss to the Tennessee Titans after getting upset this week, as I just said. And I really think that Houston is going to find a way to get back to their winning ways. I think C.J. Stroud is going to expose the Jacksonville secondary with some deep passing and really get Houston into a blowout phase. I'm picking the Houston Texans to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And in our next matchup, we have the 5-6 LA Rams going on the road down to the Bayou to take on the 4-7 New Orleans Saints. And the Rams have been playing pretty well as of late. They beat the New England Patriots a few weeks ago, and then they got faltered by the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, it was the Philadelphia Eagles. New Orleans has won 2 games in a row as well since firing former head coach Dennis Allen. So a lot has been going well with the Saints. I do think they run into a buzzsaw this week. I just think the passing game for the Rams is just too star-studded, and I'm picking the LA Rams to beat the New Orleans Saints. Up next on the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show, we have the 5-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to Bank of America Stadium to take on the 3-8 Carolina Panthers. And I really feel like Carolina could keep this game close, similar how they had a close game with Kansas City last week. But I think Tampa Bay's Baker Mayfield is going to be able to expose this Carolina secondary and really get a good bit of yards passing. I'm expecting at least 200-300 yards, at least 2 or 3 touchdown passes, as I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat the Carolina Panthers. And in our next matchup, this could be considered game of the week. We have Jalen Hurts and the 9-2 Philadelphia Eagles going on the road to M&T Stadium to take on the 8-4 Baltimore Ravens. And these two teams are about as even as possible. You've got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. You've got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Both of these offenses are going to be high-powered offenses. I am expecting this to be a high-scoring game, but at the end of the day, I think Saquon Barkley is just a man on a mission right now, and I think he's the X factor in this game. So I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And our next matchup is Sunday Night Football. We've got Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers going on the road to Orchard Park to take on Josh Allen and the 9-2 Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo has really been proving themselves this year. I believe they're coming off of a bye last week, but they forced Kansas City to lose their first game of the season a couple of weeks ago, beating them 30-21, really cementing themselves as one of the best teams in the NFL. Whereas San Francisco has really fallen off. They can get points. They do have star-studded players from Brock Purdy to Christian McCaffrey to Juwan Jennings, the Deebo Samuel. The offense is star-studded, but they just haven't been able to really gel this season. So give me the Buffalo Bills to beat the San Francisco 49ers. And now to Monday Night Football. We have the 3-8 Cleveland Browns going on the road to Mile High Stadium to take on Bo Nix and the 7-5 Denver Broncos. And honestly, Cleveland is coming off of a huge win against Pittsburgh at home last week. But I think I just don't see Jameis Winston coming out and being able to play well. Mile High is a mile high for a reason. I think Bo Nix comes out and really takes control of this game, especially over a suspect Cleveland defense. 3 or 4 touchdown passes, 300 yards passing, as I'm picking the Denver Broncos to beat the Cleveland Browns. And that was the 2024 NFL Predictions Week 13 show. What game are you looking forward to seeing this weekend? Let me know down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.